Hey everybody, it's Deb here from Deb's Greenhouse, and we've got today's top 5 houseplants. So we're going to do a series of our favorite houseplants, things that we have in stock, and give you a look and a little more growing information about them. So this here in my hand, this is a Sanseveria. Now it is also called a mother-in-law tongue or a snake plant. So generally when you see these, they are labeled as a snake plant. That would be what is most familiar. So they have like a really wide but super thin, almost paper thin leaf, and this here is a 4-inch, but you can get them in any size from a 4-inch all the way up to like a 10-inch pot. In store we have these handy little cards that we made up just the same as what we have during bedding plant season. So I'm just going to go over what it says for each house plant. So this one here, the snake plant, also called Sanseveria, grows in bright or low light. So this is a really versatile plant, and we've grown it in like direct light in the house, and we've grown it in pretty dark light. Russ had one of these in his room for years, and he always had his blind shut, so it grew very, very well. You need to let it dry completely before watering again. So this actually holds a lot of moisture in it, even though it's quite thin. Does not need a lot of water. Think succulent. It just doesn't require a lot of water. So we're going to tell you to water about once a month. Give it a good watering once a month and then leave it. Again, do not consume. Do not eat this plant. Okay, so the next plant I'm going to show you, I have talked about this plant before, and it's one of my personal favorites. I have this in my house. I love it so much. This is called a blue star fern. I really like this plant. It has kind of like, it's green, clearly it's green, but it does have this like blue-gray undertone to it that if you have a whole bunch of plants, you can really see the difference. Harder to tell just on its own. And I just love the shape of the fronds, so super fun. I have successfully grown this fern in my house for years, and it is easy to grow inside. I find that some ferns are a little more difficult, or they just have a really short shelf life, or they don't like where I put them. But this one, just everywhere I've had one, they do really well. So bright indirect light. So I actually have this in my kitchen. I have huge picture windows in my kitchen, but it's not in front of the window. It's just off to the side. So the room is bright all day long, but it's not like actually getting sunlight on the leaf. Keep the soil moist. That's the thing with ferns. So I dropped mine into a cute piece of pottery. That pottery does have a hole in the bottom, so I put a dish underneath it to catch any water that runs out of the bottom. So there's always moisture available. Some things you can do with ferns, this is for all ferns, not just this one, is a lot of times you'll see like a terracotta tray, like one of those trays that go under a terracotta pot, and people put rocks in it and then they fill that with water and put their fern on top. You could do that. That way there's always a bit of humidity as well. This is a pet-friendly fern, so you can have it in your house with pets, not to worry. Place it away from a draft or a vent. So we just don't want extremes in it drying out really quickly from a draft or from a vent, so that it stays moist. So this is a blue star fern, one of my personal favorites. I have one of these in my house. Well, I have a snake plant as well. Okay, so then I am going to show you, that is our card for this one. That particular plant is $22 for that size. Okay, so our next plant, it's nice to have something that has some color to the leaf in the house, because things in the house rarely ever bloom or ever bloom that you ever see. So I absolutely love these, you guys. We have so many. We've been growing these all summer, and they are the perfect size. This is a Tradescantia Zebrina. They used to have a common name that's gone out of fashion. We don't use it anymore. This is a purple and silver leafed Tradescantia, and that type is called Zebrina. I will just give you a quick look at that, and I will put the name on the screen as well. So these ones, you're gonna grow it in bright indirect light, same as the fern. So a room that has lots of light, but not right in front of the window where light is touching the leaf. We just want the room flooded with light. Water up to once a week. It will need, it's gonna drink more. It has a lot of leaves to keep happy. However, it can go in a bigger pot. So this is quite a small pot for this size. I would say at least transplant this size into a 6-inch at this time. And you could put 2 or 3 of these in a hanging pot. It'd be super pretty in the house. It can also be grown outdoors in the summer in a shady spot. So indoors, we want bright light, but outside, this is going to do fantastic in the shade. And we do mix this in our shade pots for the summertime as well. It's versatile that way. Do not consume. So this is not one that should be in the way of pets that will eat it. So there you go. These ones are $4 in this 4-inch pot. We do have some in larger pots as well. Okay. Next one, we have 2, but it's the same plant, but they're different. I'll show you. Okay, so our next plant is String of Pearls. So here is a sample of that. String of Pearls. This card shows the green one. So, but the care is the same for both. So here we have String of Pearls green. This is the one everybody knows. It's very traditional, but very awesome plant. This one is a rare version. So this is variegated. See the difference in the leaves? The little balls, they do have a variegation. This one is solid green. So this is our regular String of Pearls. This one is $9. This rare one, which we have as well, is $25. Very fun to add to your collection. If you're brand new to plants and want to stay budget friendly, start with the green one, and then when you grow your collection, add the marbled one. Why not? Okay, so these guys, they are a succulent, so grow them in bright light. Put them right in the direct sun. Do not put them in a bathroom with no windows. They will slowly die. We definitely want these to get sunlight directly touching the plant as much as you can. We know in the winter we don't have as much sunlight, so put it in the sunny spot that you have. Water once a month. People often kill these with kindness. Watering more isn't better, so they need to be extremely dry. If you're not sure how much to water, give me a call and ask. I will answer all your questions. It is a type of succulent. It is very easy to grow because you don't have to water very much. For this size of pot, I would only do about 1/3 of a cup of water, 1/3, like 1/3 cup of water per month. Do not consume. These are not to be eaten, okay? Thank you. Okay, and that was a 4th plant. So for today's top 5 houseplants, we have one more to show you. Okay, so this is a really fun one. This is called Hoya Hindu rope. Now we do have other Hoyas in stock. This one is super fun. I don't want to say it's more of a collector one, but it is harder to find. So we have a harder time getting these in stock. We do have them right now. They are just super fun how curled they are. They are kind of gnarled looking. That's how they're supposed to look. I find Hoyas do very well in my house. It does say grow in bright light. It can go in full sun, but if you don't have direct light on it, they do fine. I have one on my coffee table in my living room. Curtains are always closed because we can't see the TV if there's like sunlight reflecting. But the room is bright because it gets light from the kitchen and the dining room. So it does fantastic. We do not let it dry out though. That's the thing. They do like to be root bound. Okay, so it's okay in this small of a pot. Just drop it into a cute piece of pottery so that you're hiding, this plain pot, and it just looks really good. Water once or twice a month. So I don't let it get mega dry. But if you're watering it twice a month, that's every 2 weeks, it's going to keep it nice and happy. Pet friendly. So don't worry about your pets if you have a Hoya Hindu rope in your house. So that is today's top 5 houseplants. We do have more plants we're going to show you as the days go by, and let me know if there's something specific that you're looking for information on. And these are all in stock now. You could order them online and then pick up at our greenhouse. We do not ship plants. We're getting to freezing temperatures and they just would not do well in the mail system or by courier. So that's today's top 5 houseplants. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Bye guys.